lovely dears, welcome to this new Italian tutorial. This tutorial will be sort of introduction to something that is very important in the Italian grammar, but usually in the grammar of every language that you learn, the verbs. So this will be a sort of introduction to the conjugation of the verbs in Italian. Because there are two important things that you should know before approaching the conjugation of the verbs in Italian. First of all, the basic form for the verb is what we call infinito. Actually, infinito is something that can be compared mainly in its uses to the form like to go or to drink, to sleep in English, but sometimes also to the ing form in English. So the infinito in Italian more or less has those uses. I will also make a tutorial for more detail about the uses of the infinito in Italian. But now this infinito form in Italian is actually divided in three types. So we have three types of infinito in Italian. First is the type that ends in are, like amare, to love. Second one is the kind that ends in ere, so the type that ends in ere. Like temere, to fear. The third kind ends in ire, like dormire. So we have these three types of infinito, and actually each of them corresponds to what in Italian we call conjugazione, literally conjugation. So the verbs in are are what we call in Italian verbi di prima coniugazione, so verbs of first conjugation, literally. The verbs like temere in Italian are called verbi di seconda coniugazione, so verbs of second conjugation. The third type, like dormire, is what called verbi di terza coniugazione, so verbs of third conjugation in Italian. So again, amare is first conjugation, prima coniugazione. Temere, second conjugation, seconda coniugazione. Dormire, third conjugation, terza coniugazione. Now, this is important to know because the kind of conjugation, so first, second, or third, to which the verb belongs, affects also the conjugation itself. What I mean is that, for example, the present, which we will see in the next tutorial in detail, but just to make an example here, the present, you will see that the verbs like amare, or the verbs like temere, the verbs like dormire, they have many things in common, but there are, nonetheless, some slight differences, which depend on the conjugation to which the verb belongs. Now, second thing important to know is to distinguish the root of a verb, because the conjugation of the verbs, how does it work, the conjugation in Italian? That we have a part of the verb that never changes, and it is called the root, literally, so la radice in Italian, radice. And then to this root, this part that doesn't change, we add another small part, can be one letter, two letters, even three letters, depends. Or yeah, even more. But what is important is that is the second part that changes it, that gives you the conjugation. And this second part is called the desinenza. So it's more or less when you add the S at the third person in English. It's more or less that. So, how do you understand what is the root in a verb? You start from the infinito, which I said is the basic form, and actually is also the form that you will find in a dictionary when you search for a verb. So that's why it's important to know. And also, for example, if you find a verb and you want to say, okay, now I want to see what it means, you have to be able to retrieve which is the infinito, and so that you can find that in the dictionary. You can find the meaning of the verb. But anyway, how do you find the root? So you go to the infinito and you remove the are, the ere, and the ire part. So for example, amare, are goes away, so I am left with am. So am is my root, and then I will add the desinenze, so the small parts, or 1, 2, or 3, or even more letters, to conjugate it. But am will never change. Am is my root. So I remove are. For the second conjugation, for la seconda coniugazione, temere, ere goes away, and I am left with tem. Tem is my root. So tem will never change when I conjugate a verb. But to conjugate it, I will add the small parts at the end. So the desinenze. So the ere goes away for the second conjugation, I repeat. Third conjugation, dormire, ire goes away, and I'm left with dorm. So dorm is my root, is the part that will never change, and that to which I will add the other small parts to conjugate it. So I retrieve dorm by putting ire away. So that's how you retrieve the root. You remove are, ere, and ire. So as I said, it's important to distinguish between the root, la radice, e la desinenza, because it's actually the desinenza that gives you the conjugation when it's added to the root. And actually, also for the irregular verbs, we have already seen some of them, at least in the present, and so I will link also those videos in the description below. And anyway, the regular verbs, the problem with them is that the root changes. So your base changes. For example, volere, you put the ere away, so it's okay, I'm left with vol. But vol is not there anymore when you go to conjugate the verb. Vol become voglio. So, for example, volere, it means to want. But if I say I want, I say io voglio. So the root changes, just to make an example. And actually the irregular verbs are not so many. I mean, they are not an impossible number to learn. But actually it's important to learn them by heart, because you have to remember how the root changes. And so that you can conjugate them, because you have to remember not only the desinenza, but also how the root changes. So this is the first reason. The second reason why it is important to learn well the irregular verbs is because they are very common verbs, like to drink, bere. Bere is also irregular. Or like to go, andare, that is also irregular. And for example, also the andare, you say, okay, remove are, and you have and, but you don't use and all the way. For example, I go is io vado. So not io ando, but io vado. Then we go, noi andiamo. There you use again the original root. but you don't use it always. So you have to really remember how the pattern goes. It's not difficult. It's just being a little careful with it. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and next time I will see you with a tutorial on how to conjugate the verbs in the present in Italian, the regular verbs. If you like this video, please give it a thumb up. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, feel free to leave any comment or any question, or to request any particular topic. Thanks for watching, and see you next tutorial. Ciao ciao!